Hello, good evening. I'm Mark. I'm the Killer Kid. I'm your GM for this evening. You're watching Downtown Dreaming, SLA Industries actual play on TTRP Theatre. My pronouns are he, him. With me are, well, they can introduce themselves. I'm way too lazy. We shall start with Ben. Yay, Tim can hear me. But anyway, Ben.
Hello, my name is Ben, he, him. I run Wrath and Tears on the other Sundays, a cult actual play stream in the same place. And I'll be playing Grail, the advanced carrion, who I think might end up at a nightclub. And I'm curious to see how that goes.
Excellent. And Michelle, who are you?
Hi, I'm Michelle, she, her. I will be playing Kara, who just met the love of her life. She thought she was going to get tortured. Instead, she fell in love.
Oh. Let's see how long that lasts in the world of progress.
Yeah.
And Tim.
Hi, I'm Tim, TTRP67. You'll see me around here quite a bit. I'm playing Oren, the Ebon, and he's got to go talk to his daddy.
Daddy issues, yay.
Quite interested in that since, he's only met him once or twice before.
And Jax is missing this week. She'll be back in 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure, but we will miss her this evening. Before we start, State Industries is a game of horror, including topics such as drug addiction, violence, self-harm, suicide, big evil corporations, torture, can be lots of different things. So we have safety mechanics in place. If something's too much for you, just step away. But as long as you're having fun, it's all good. And with that, we will start with Oren leaving the building where he had been, where he'd just been questioned. He had been given a note from his father asking to meet. First time in, well, quite a while. Outside of the building, It's raining. Same greasy rain that it's always raining. Mort. So the sounds of the city are still, it never really quietens down here, even in Uptown. Outside, a long black limousine pulls up. Door slides open silently.
Don't I even get to go home and change?
No answer.
As he steps in, sits down, and looks around whom else might be in the vehicle.
Any one of us that you asked us to? Did you ask anyone to come with you on your way out the door?
Oh, I would have wanted to know if anybody wanted to go see Uptown.
Let's go. Come on.
So behind you come the advanced carrion and the frother.
I will open the door. Come along. I'm sure my dad would find you both interesting, though I must warn you, he's somewhat manipulative, and without you being very protected from Eb, that could mean a lot.
I haven't met many dads.
I haven't met many either, very often.
No, I didn't meet mine, but I'd be very happy to meet yours.
You may have a different opinion when we're done.
So you all get into this town car. It's sleek, very much unlike the taxi you took to go downtown.
Michelle, do we sit on either side of small Oren like the two mafiosi?
I think so.
And Oren's sitting in the middle.
There is more than enough space for all of you here. The car is, Cara, you could compare it to your apartment. It seems that's, you would much rather live here probably than where you live at the moment. There's a little bar at the side. There's dim lighting. There's enough for maybe another 6 people to sit. This is a very long sort of town car. It's probably more space in it than you would think from the outside.
Oren, did your dad send this car?
Yes, I'm sure he did.
I mean, looking at this very, very exclusive car.
Looking to see if there's a wet bar or a dry bar or a drug bar.
Well, if you want some drugs, I'm your gal. I have all of the rush.
Though I might be interested in learning about it. Right now I'm looking for some I need to get a little calmer. So
that's fair. Just, it sounds like you have from what you said, it sounds like you have a very difficult relationship with your father. So me offering you rush is probably a terrible idea. I'd like to apologize.
Oh no, if you need to take it, I think this could be entertaining.
Oh, I took like 4 in the interrogation room. I'm still good.
No, my dad's fairly decent. He's just has his way about things and is fairly secretive. He's been working for Slave for quite some time.
The car slides off, and unlike most of the vehicles you've been in, not a sound. It's like a modern electric car. The streets, the shops, the people of Uptown Mort in their expensive gear, the odd operative going shopping after getting a big payout, walk by. None of them can see inside the dimmed windows. Doesn't take long. The streets in Uptown, as they are easy to drive through. There's not all the refuse and everything else you find littering even the highest levels of downtown. The building you pull up in front of has the name Rafa proudly over its doors. Much like the car, it's tall, sleek, black. You get the feeling of even a death suit, as if a death suit could cover a whole building. You would have been here before, Oren, but probably only once when you were a kid, before you were taking static.
So is this well off, fancy, or posh? Like, where on the I can't afford it scale is this building?
This is the astronomical side of it.
Okay.
I hate this office. Well, Grail, Kara, have you ever been to something like this? I've only been here once before.
I think I woke up in a place like this once. I had a few dark years there, where I can't really account for many of my movements, but I think I woke up once in a building like this, or maybe even this building.
All I can suggest is just watch yourself. There's going to be almost everyone is an Ebon.
You step out of the car, the doors in front of the building, same kind of black glass. It covers the rest of it, slide open. Standing in the doorway is someone that you know quite well. Umber Rafa is waiting for you. These are names you made up, man, not my fault.
I know. I was trying to figure out if Umber was the male or female
Male.
sister or brother.
I think Umber was the male. Ariel. You've got Tuscan, Capri, Ariel, and Umber.
Yep. I just couldn't remember which ones were male and female since I just said siblings.
Yes. That's why I was waiting for you to tell me.
Oh.
I was trying to be clever, but no, it just doesn't work out when I do that.
Hello, sister.
Oren, you brought friends?
Yes, the whole family going to be joining us?
No, this is, Dad wanted to speak to you.
What do I owe the pleasure?
That's something you could discuss with him. Looks at the two of you. If you'd like to come with me, I can offer you refreshments.
Leave their minds alone.
I would not dream of it, brother.
Thank you. Enjoy yourselves. Have fun.
She turns.
My sister can be quite entertaining. Keep her busy.
Was there a point where they were going to mess with our minds?
They have the capability of it. If they want to know something, you are aware of what Evans can do, correct, Kara?
I mean, yes, but I thought it would just go without saying to, ask permission before you start diving into a person's brain.
One would think.
It is the polite thing to do. But I can't say everybody here is going to be polite. Some of my siblings aren't.
There's no
Here to back you up,
reception.
Oren. Oops, sorry.
No, on you go. I jumped in.
We're here to back you up, Oren. But also, everything you have said about this sounds terrifying. So,
Welcome
if
to
you
my
need-
world.
Got your
I'm
back,
not-
buddy.
Yes. But no, I figure you could learn. I don't want to hide what and who I am from. This family's quite large.
Umber snorts. You're being rather modest, Oren. Just because you wouldn't take her name. See, he looks at the two. She looks at the two of you again. Her brother is rather ashamed of the Rafa family. Too good for
Not
us, weren't you, Oren?
No. Ashamed is not. I respect the family, but I don't want the name to be used to get me what I want. So I use my mother's name.
Ah, your mother.
And I know it disturbs you and many of the rest.
If you wish to slight her father, that is between you and him.
He didn't seem to mind. He likes the idea of the fact that I ain't using the family name.
Yes, well, what he says to you and what he may think in the privacy of his own head is completely different. Now, please, if you'd follow me, we wouldn't like to keep Father waiting.
As Kara follows,
What?
she whispers to Grail, carbonated meat, right? If you think of carbonated meat, they can't get in your brain.
Grail nods and makes kind of like a chuffing noise.
I now just have this vision of little bubbles popping in fat and in muscle. Just every single... Like when you have a glass of cola or something. Wonderful. Carbonated meat. Umber takes
Whatever it
takes you to a bank of elevators. There's no buttons, no anything. The doors slide open silently. And again, everything seems kind of monotone. Everything's this sleek, black, kind of chrome sort of look. The reflections seem to take a lot more of the light in than they give back. The Ebons are usually quite emotional, quite colourful. This all seems very muted. Oren, as their elevator doors close, the woods directly across from them open. Oh no, he's muted.
I unmute myself, and
Always a good step.
he will heavily sigh and step in.
Doors slide closed. Somewhat faster than you might hope, and slower than you would expect. You feel your
Are
stomach
we
kind of
following
fall.
him, or are we separated off?
You've been separated off for the moment. The Umber took you to get some refreshments. And since no one objected, I thought, okay, we're just doing that. Your stomach, you know that feeling when you rise very fast in an elevator? Your stomach kind of falls. Yeah. That happens. And much like with the doors closing, you're not sure if it takes too fast or too slow to get you to the top of the building. The doors open, and you get another sibling standing in front. Capri is somewhat larger than Umber. Seems to have taken much more of a combat-oriented.
A ban, right?
No, all Ebon.
Nope.
All in this family are Ebon, at least the ones that have been admitted to.
Ah, this branch. Okay.
Brother, so
Brother.
wonderful to see you.
I can say the same about you. You've grown.
Yes, well, some of us have to carry the burden of the family name. Come. Father is waiting, and for some reason he had said he wants to speak to you.
I know, it is... Well, let us proceed then. We hate to keep him waiting.
Gives this smirk, and the smirk is almost a mirror image of that of Umber's. You look very much like them, but also different. Your mother shines through than you, but still, if people were to look at you, they would know instantly that you're siblings. Floor here, carpeted, just muffles the footfalls. There's the small reception area. Well, small. It's extremely large. There's nothing there. The doors to your father's office have real wooden doors that must have cost a fortune to have imported. Small metal shaped handles, so like curved. The Capri pushes open for you. And you step in. Grail, Cara. Umber's silent on the ride up. Both of you also feel this quick shift in velocity as you rise up quickly. You don't go nearly as high up as Oren did, but still, you're in the elevator long enough to feel it. The lift stops and you open into a bright, open area. It looks very much like a Silicon Valley cafeteria. Completely at odds with everything else you've seen. And here you see other Ebons, maybe even a few Ebans, walking around, trays, talking away. It's like this kind of hidden social structure in this monolithic black building.
So this is like where the staff eat. Basically, they've sent us to the staff area.
Yes. It smells good.
And we didn't know we were being sent here, necessarily. Okay.
This would seem... Well, no, maybe not to the two of you, but to another Ebon, this would seem like a slight. I don't know if Grail and Kara would notice.
I think as our characters, we may not understand all of the layers, but I think we've got a good enough sense to know when something shitty has been done. Like we may not know all of the layers, but I think both of us went,
Umber turns to you both. Oh, sorry, on you go.
Akara just says, do you think they think that we work for Oren? Is that what's happened here?
Well, bodyguards like yourself are not uncommon within the family.
they might.
She hands you both small black plastic cards. Please take whatever you wish. It's of course on us.
Absolutely, we're bodyguards. That's exactly what we are, and so we're going to take full advantage of this. Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. And please take care of my brother. He is, well, not my favourite, but definitely not my least favourite among my siblings.
Wow, you just come out and say it.
So our face and hair shoot through with a kind of yellow electric colour. She laughs. Yes. No point in being dishonest.
This explains almost everything about Oren.
Now, if you excuse me, I have something I need to take care of. I will be back with you in a few moments.
Thank you very much.
Before, as we go on to the next thing, Grail turns to you and says, I think she is currently my least favorite sibling.
Mine too. Like, what the hell is this? Orange should be a lot more messed up than he is. Let's just say that here and now. Oren is an incredible person for making it through this. Now, shall we go and steal everything from this place?
We should eat until they take the cards.
Attaboy, let's go.
Okay, we'll come back to that because others will laugh too much.
I'm just imagining when we come back, there's just plates
Yeah.
and tables. And...
Oh, I'm absolutely thinking like Goku from Dragon Ball, where
Yep.
it's just the pile of noodle bowls and the pile of plates. Just...
Sitting there. I'll have dessert now.
Oren, as you enter your father's office, Capri closes the doors quietly behind you. He doesn't come in with you.
I look around quickly just to make sure that nobody, or if anybody else is in the room. But then look at the desk I'm assuming my father would be at.
Your father's at the desk. Quite far away. The backdrop is Mort City, looking out over almost all of Uptown. It's an absolutely amazing view. The entire office is decked out in a dark wood. Artifacts from, well, you're not sure where. We need to go through them all and check. But the wealth in this one room is astounding. Sort of things you haven't seen since you left Static, really. If there's no computer at your father's desk, there's no nothing in it any way technological. There's some pens with ink pots and everything very right. He's writing as you enter. His head doesn't even go up. He says, Oren, please take a seat.
Yes, Father. Ra walking very straight back and properly to the desk. Takes a seat, straight back, almost military in style.
keeps scribbling for a moment, then looks at you. It's good to see you, Orin.
It is rare to see you, Father.
You are not wrong. You feel the flux all around him. He's more powerful than the last time you saw him.
I would be shivering inside at what he could possibly do if he decided.
He looks at you as if he knows exactly what you were thinking. Orin, don't be afraid. You've done well. I see you've completed your first two BPNs. Rather interesting one, is it not?
He looks side-eyed at his father.
Don't be afraid of the D notice. There's no harm in talking with me over it.
Do you know what that thing was?
In all honesty, I do not. I would like to, however. Although I doubt I have enough time. He twitches for a second, as if something hurt. It just passes his face very quickly. I take it you're wondering why you're here, Orin.
Very much so. It is rare to be summoned.
I have a gift for you. It's taken some time, but I think I know where your mother went. He takes a bit of paper, he's writing.
Kind of abruptly.
Please, Orin, sit. Sit.
He does. But his coloring has changed definitely to more of a reddish excitement.
He takes the bit of paper on the desk, spins it round and pushes it towards you. Please sign this. It is an exemption from the D notice. You will keep this to yourself.
He signs. Not even reading.
He takes it back without even looking at it. Your mother was always a special woman. Otherwise you wouldn't be here, would you? He stops for a second. Kind of looks into the distance. I did love her, Orin. You know that, don't you?
I can hope.
And you know I love you, my son.
Sorry.
Perfect time. Just thinking, push it. You know I love
That
you,
was
my
the
son.
dog in the back. I believe you believe that.
Your mother was always a good researcher. There are things that certain interests within SLA Industries have decided are more important to research than others. Tell me, Orin, do you know of Dante, the planet?
Dante?
Dante.
I'm Woodoran, no.
Possible. You can give me I don't think I gave you slave info, just give me a sector info roll if you want.
Dang it, where is that? Lore.
Because it could change how you react.
What's my DC target, sir?
Just 10, yeah.
And there. Boom. Ooh, even with my 0, I did get 1 success.
You know of Planet Dante. It's been in the news every once in a while. It's one of the war worlds.
I've heard the name.
Well, what you might not know is that some of these war worlds contain more artifacts, or more, not necessarily artifacts, more knowledge than one might think from such a barren rock. Dante is probably the most famous. Now, I know that your mother went to Dante. This was a Black Op. I wasn't even allowed to know about it at the time. I also know she has left Dante, but I'm not sure where. I do know that were you to go there, you would be able to find some information that might lead you to her. I do not always act as though I care, but please believe me, I do. And had I known your mother was being sent to Dante in the first place, I would have stopped it.
How do I get to Dante?
Unfortunately, you can only go there if you get a VPN. I have arranged for someone to keep an eye out and notify you if anything comes up, but you'll have to square that with your squad leader. Every once in a while a green VPN comes up, but you do know there's not always a chance of coming back from these. And any information you find, I would be careful about bringing it back.
Somebody would be interested I should be worried about? I'm assuming everybody.
Yes, not least of which some of your siblings, who I'm not too certain might not have had something to do with it in the first place.
Survival of the fittest, as always.
Yes, unfortunately so. Now, Warren, there's another reason I brought you here. Something else.
I figured because this could have just been sent to me. The usual video calls to come and sign for paperwork.
Yes, video calls are much more easy to interrupt. Or
I'm just surprised that it's you, Father, that's all.
This will likely be the last time. I have been selected. And he twitches again. You feel kind of power flow through him, even into the desk and around him. The colours in his death suit kind of flicker and twitch. They've decided to try and make a few more neck and throws.
So they're sending you to the White.
They are.
Or is it calling you?
Oh, the White has been calling for a long time. But certain death is somewhat of a motivator to stay away.
I hope when you return you remember yourself.
No one has returned in a long time on. I fear this will be the end.
I can hope you can. You've
Yes.
not been as bad as some parents can be.
Well, that is, of course, true. I am not as good as some could have been. Watch out for Tuscan. They know rather more than they like to let on. And I would not be surprised if they have had a hand in my being selected to go to the White.
It's always wanted your position.
Most of them do, Oren, but you didn't. Renda, such a lovely name. If you ever do find your mother, send her my love. His head
I will.
goes down. He starts writing another bit of paper. That'll be all, Odin.
Later, Father. I hope to see you return.
As do I. As do I.
And then he would leave the office. His
Capri's
brother
waiting
is
for
out
you
there.
outside, yeah. But before we talk with Capri, let's return to the cafeteria. There's roughly 10 people, 10 Eblins and Ebans here. All of whom are taking little, little plates and talking and having their coffees. Because everything's very nice. Like going to a high-class restaurant that looks like a white void. Food available is, just about anything you could want.
Have you ever been anywhere like this?
Well, I might have. I don't really remember it. But I'll tell you what, I can get used to this.
I don't see a menu.
Small human steps out as if from nowhere. No, sir. Looks you up and down. There is no menu. If you tell me what you wish, I shall bring it for you.
Desperately trying to think about what Kara would like to eat and what would be a law-appropriate food to ask for. I
Anything.
assume that they have, futuristic burgers and burritos and all sorts.
Oh yeah, they've got
right?
big smileys and things like that, yeah. There's whole planets that are franchise worlds where you can get these things from.
I get 12 pig burritos, please.
Of course, would that be carrion pigs or normal pigs?
There's more than one kind of pig.
Of course. I'll bring you a selection, man. And for... Sir?
Kebabs.
Of course, sir. Any particular meat you might wish?
They have more than
In
one kind
Grail's
of pig.
mind. Yeah, in Grail's mind, several extremely funny, punny, or just plain mean ideas pop through his mind before he remembers that he's supposed to be working for Orin and that he shouldn't make his friend look bad. So there's a mental journey that, doesn't have a lot of outward stuff aside from kind of like a contemplative look up and then a look down. And he says, the standard low-town indescribable blend will be fine.
Of course, sir. The downtown special. He smiles. And it doesn't disappear, but it definitely seems like it does as he turns and seems to go behind something that you can't see it's like an IKEA. If you're only looking forward, you're only seeing the other way you go. If you went beyond it, you'd be, okay, you can go that way.
If you went that way, they did end up straight at the castle.
Yes. But then we change
Just
the arrows
watch
around
that.
and I love that film. Don't go that way, never go that way.
Slay could learn a thing or two about this place.
Technically it's all Slay. It's very
Okay.
well, technically it's companies within companies. If they were to be a separate company, they wouldn't last very long. All the
Our particular corner of Slay could learn a thing or two
Yes.
about this other corner of Slay.
Grail, you notice a pair of E-bins. You heard of E-bins before, you've probably come into contact with them once or twice during your training. They are the nastier E-bins. You see the burnt, kind of crispy looking skin around their eyes as they look over at you and are sniggering. You hear one of them say a very unkind word to describe carrion and point at you and laugh.
He tries not to let that bug him. He's used to it, regretfully. I mean, he went to many as a carrion. You know, he got his list of racial slurs is pretty long.
Yeah.
But Kara absolutely sees like a full body pause, and then he continues walking to go sit down or whatever little motion they were taking at the time.
I take it that Kara would read that as the equivalent of, I guess, a human person just full on going, right. Like that's the equivalent.
I think Kara's is actually quite adept at Grail by now. Even in the short period of time you've actually known each other, you've went through a wide range for Grail of emotions that you're able to see.
Did I hear the slur?
Yes, you would have
Would
done.
Kara understand it?
Yes.
Well, you okay? Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Okay. Well, those two aren't getting a pig burrito now.
I don't intend to share food with them either.
Yeah, I ordered 12 because I counted there's 12 people here.
Aww.
They're not getting one now.
Aww. I love Kara. Grail got 12 kebabs, but they're just for him.
Yeah, but they're all for him.
Yeah. Food comes, and the little human shows you to a table. The two Ebans are still pointing over and sniggering. You hear them say something about kilts and where frothers keep their brains.
So Kara's got the 12 burritos, gives one to Grail, places one where she's going to sit, then goes around the room and gives a burrito to every person there, even though most of them probably have no idea what's happening or why the Stroffer is giving them a burrito.
Most of them don't, but most of them smile at you and accept it. Even a couple of the Ebans, most of them are not. You see a moment of confusion, but just about everyone says thank you. A couple are aloof and no, but most of them are seem genuinely grateful for it.
So Kara goes up with the final two burritos to the two bad ones and goes, I just want you to know you're not getting one entirely because of what you have said about me and my friend. And then she swallows both of them in front of them in one go each. Stands there and chews in front of them for a little bit, for just long enough for it to be really awkward and weird. And then she just goes to sit by down with Grail.
And as you do that and you walk away, they both start to laugh. And they say another name, which is rather derogatory, about frothers. This time louder. You can see a couple of people at other tables, so neither you that heard and kind of stop, and one of them shaking his head.
So Kara stops and turns around and just says, you know, for words to mean anything, you have to respect the person saying them. And as much as I may be a damn dirty thicko frother, I see nothing to respect in either of you.
See one of them start to smile again, the other one stands up and his face suddenly full of rage. And you feel your armor start to heat up.
As in, they're doing some kind of mind thing.
Yes.
Oh, I see. So you can't take what you get.
Fucking
To go to do
filthy
your weird
frother.
mind thing.
You're not even good enough to be a human, and you feel it start to get very hot around the joints.
Right. What have I
Hot
got
day
for
hot or
focus?
eye of the stove hot?
It's kind of, there's a spike in it, but it's not. I don't think they want to actually damage you. They want to show you that they're the boss.
You have no power over me.
What?
You have no power over me.
Okay, now we're going to have to take a roll.
I don't. Wait, what did you say?
We're going to have a roll.
Okay.
So let's roll for initiative then.
I think I just totally clicked the wrong thing.
That's right.
Where's initiative again?
I have a what do you call it down the bottom? Oh no, you should be able to do it on your sheet.
Oh, there we go. Boom.
What do we get? There we go.
I got a 4. That's not good.
Oren, you can't do initiative. Oh my goodness, why am I so bad at this? Where the fuck are you? Ah, there. Cara, you got 11.
That's not so bad,
There we go.
right?
Yeah, no, that's better. That's better. So, yeah. The Ablins are both going last. So, what one of them is going to do is just sit there and smirk. The one that is trying to heat your armor up to make you feel uncomfortable is going to turn up the heat on that. Up next would be Grail. Grail, what are you going to do?
At this point, I'm going to try to intimidate.
Mhm.
Like, that's the action, is an attempt at intimidation.
Okay. And Kara, what are you going to do?
So many options. I don't want to make my friend Oren look bad, but also I don't like bullies. So yeah, I think I'm going to stand there and stare and not move.
So you're trying to intimidate as well?
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it.
Then give me an intimidate roll.
Total failure.
How many dice? Okay.
I just clicked intimidate.
Yeah, no, that's right. Okay.
0 successes, 0 skill.
That's alright. You try to look intimidating, but the heat around the joints is starting to make you feel uncomfortable, so you start to move slightly disjointed. Grail?
2 skill dice, no success die. So
Unfortunately, the A-band that is trying to eat up Kara's armor is paying no attention to you whatsoever. So any movements you're making are completely lost on him. And the other A-band is just finding this extremely funny.
oh, it was a full like 35 decibel threat growl.
Well, then what he's doing is he's concentrating too much to so direct the ebb. And Kara,
I'm content with the roll. I just want to make sure the
Yeah,
picture is right.
oh no, thank you. Definitely. Kara, you start to feel much more uncomfortable about this. You can take a hit point, actually, of damage as it's burning through. As the armor's heating up, and it's just starting to scorch the skin a little bit. It's enough that you're definitely going to need to put something on it after. And what do you want to do now,
Okay.
Kara?
Just looking at my skills.
Oh,
What
so
I'm good at.
do it again.
Ah,
Sorry.
diplomacy. I've got an idea.
Okay.
I'm going to try and use my diplomacy to get them, both of these people, to agree that they are not very nice. So I'm going to calmly explain to them, what is the point of this? What are you trying to do here? What does this say about you?
Okay, I would say
Or is that more oratory?
no. You can give me diplomacy there, but it'll be slightly more difficult. Difficulty will be 13 because one of them is finding this extremely hilarious, and the other one's already into dealing out some pain.
So the target number's 13.
Yes.
No modifier.
Well, your modifier should be your skill level in it. Oh, you get 4 skill passes. That's enough. That is enough. That counts as a pass.
So you two, why do this? You have no idea who we are. You're just doing this to elevate yourself based on nothing but the randomness of birth, the randomness of your genetic makeup. Why? Who are you helping?
You are insolent, says the one that's standing up.
I'd rather be insolent than be you.
The one that's sitting laughs again. She's right there, Karen. And suddenly the heat lets off, and the Eban that's standing in front of you was trying to he turns around and rage at his friend. How dare you! And you hear a pop as something goes off underneath his chair. Seems that his attention has been completely taken away to his friend as he bursts the leg under the chair, and the fight seems to head out that way.
Guys, don't need to turn on each other. Sounds like you both have problems with self-respect, which is something I am very experienced with. Let me tell you, for 20 years there, I did not value myself at all, and it did not lead me to any good places. Now shake hands.
As you're telling this, Umber comes in, walking very, very quickly, and does something with her hand, and says something, and both of them fly into the air. And she looks at them, and you can see that she's obviously saying something to them without giving it voice. And they collapse to the ground. I apologise for that. Some of our employees have not done too well on their sensitivity training. She looks at them again. And they shall have to sit through the course once again, which I'm sure they will enjoy.
What do you mean? Nothing happened. We were just being friends, weren't we?
Yes.
She turns and winks at the two who are on the floor.
The one caring, the one that's you up, going, yeah, we're just, this is just friendly, but honestly, Miss Rafa, it's all good. It was all in good fun. See, we just didn't want the burritos. Umber looks at you. Is that right, Miss? Looks at your SCL badge. Kara?
Yeah, no need to put these two through sensitivity training. No
Yeah.
need whatsoever.
Well, we shall see. They are both needed anyway. You've got work to do, do you not, boys? And they get up, and the one that was being nasty to you smiles and gives you a thumbs up as he walks past. Eben are
Nobody likes a
dipshits.
grass.
Yeah, Eben are dipshits,
Nobody
but they're not
likes a
always
grass.
bad. Grail is chewing on his kebab.
Kara took point. Like, he has, when someone is in an aggressive situation and one person steps to the front, like hell, he's going to do damage to Kara's fate, like social facing,
Yeah.
by doing anything other than support. Like, it was,
Karis' dad starts eating the burrito. Just says, "This is not like any pig I've ever had."
The little human appears out and over again. I can get you a list of the sources if you wish, ma'am. Should you wish to order some
Oh,
yourself?
No, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. Just say, this is unlike any pig I've ever had.
And you, Master Grail, can I bring you anything else?
no, thank you.
Nothing. And it's already cleaning away the bits and pieces that you've left that aren't yet eaten. Umber's looking rather put out by this, as if it's completely beneath her. My brother will be waiting for you downstairs whenever you're ready.
Turns to Grail. This place is really strange. I think we should go.
Let me finish, please.
Absolutely. Take your time.
Yeah, when he told the interrogator that he longed for a kebab, he was telling the truth. Like, he's had kebabs on the mind since the lockdown drawers came up. But it goes pretty quick. However, he does say to Kara very quietly, does a little bit of a lean in, and says, "Were you flirting with that, Ebon?"
I didn't believe I was.
Okay.
I don't like bullies, but I also don't like grassing on people. It's a very, very fine line.
Sometimes when people are mean to each other and then they're all happy when they walk away, I've been told that that's flirting.
Oh, Grail.
Umber looks
Fuck.
impatient. I think, Mr. Grail, you could do with a little bit of sensitivity training yourself. In no way do I mean that as
His
disrespectful.
chew speed just went down by 60% when she said that. Visibly, his chew speed went down.
Carrion are fascinating creatures. The advanced carrion, yes, you've been shaped by the company, but the real carrion, the ones living out there in the wild, I made some study on them. There's some very interesting parts in your past, sir. Now, if you can elevate yourself above that from which you come, then please feel free to seek me out. And she hands you a card. It's a plain black card that, if you move it, you see in the light the kind of embossing that holds the details for contacting her.
Okay.
I meant no respect with the sensitivity training.
I understand.
Good. Now, I will leave you. The elevator will take directly to my brother. Please enjoy your evening. And look after little Ori.
Ori?
Yes, Ori.
Worry.
And you did not hear that name from me. She smiles and walks off.
Of course, we acquired his childhood nickname through independent research
Yes.
because we were very smart and good independent researchers.
Very diligent.
I think she told us that so we would call him that, and I have a feeling that would really upset him. This is some like advanced level psychological torture she's trying to carry out.
Yes, we are now proxies in a sibling war.
The Great Sibling Wars of 916. SD.
Okay.
And
So-
Orin was a
Orin was about to speak with Capri. And what did Father say to you?
the necessary information he needed to discuss.
Very clever. What did Father say to you?
How much he loved me.
Yes, quite. Well, I won't keep you. Tuscan sent his regards.
I'm sure he does.
Maybe you
Hopefully,
can...
upon Father's return, he will be having a nice chat with Tuck.
Do you really believe that, boy? You think he'll return? When was the last time someone came back from the White? The Momic screwed all that up for us again.
But
It's-
let's point out, people return,
No,
even if they're not
returned.
recently.
You keep that if you want. You always wear a little bit more head in the clouds than the rest of us. Don't know why you were his favourite.
Have you looked at yourself?
Orin, you're about to get punched in the face. So would you like to roll anything to stop that?
Yes. Yes, he would. He would not be there when the fist arrives.
Then you can roll your dodge for me, please.
Oh no, he's using reality fold. He's actually
Ooh,
moving.
nice. Then roll that reality.
1 success and 3 skill successes.
So what do you do?
I appear in front of the elevator. Oh, let me double check my ability.
No, you'll be able to do that. That'd be absolutely fine.
And I have an advanced one yet. Let's see if I can do that one. Oh no, I'm still restricted on distance on that one level yet. Never mind. And he appears in front of the elevator. Are we ready, brother?
Capri swings and is slightly off balance. You did take after Dad with that shit, didn't you? Do you know none of the rest of us can fold? None of us have learned it.
It's rather simple.
Enough. Goodbye, Orin.
Goodbye, brother.
You hope we don't meet again.
I will see you. Hopefully, and as he gets on the elevator, hopefully at your funeral.
You see him go to the face. The death suit sparks of red and yellow. And the door closes. Once again, your stomach hits the roof of your abdomen as you plummet towards the ground. Shortly
he's
after,
holding his stomach almost. The nerves are finally letting go now that he's right there, and he's almost dry heaving in the corner of the elevator for a moment. Just the nerves. He hates dealing with his family. But by the time he gets down to the bottom of the elevator, he's straightened back up.
what about the information about your mother? How does Oren feel about that?
He has forward progress. He's quite happy about that, but where he has to go, he's going to be doing some research on his off time.
And what about your father?
He never had any bad feelings at his father, so and he also was more of a shield protecting him from his asshole of a brother from truly doing anything bad.
He should always have been a bloody Eban, that Tuscan. The fact that he doesn't have charcoal eyes, just... Everyone always wondered.
And he's quite sure that it is Tuscan who's manipulating things behind the scenes. He might see what he can do about figuring things out there. Right now, he just wants to get out of this damn building and away from his family.
The lift doors open. You step out. And 30 seconds later... That dog has brilliant timing. 30 seconds later, the elevator doors opposite slide open. Cara and Grail.
Hey, Oren, how's the family?
Oh, as fun as always. Hopefully they took care of you and nothing too bad. I was hoping you would have been allowed to come up. Father is actually not too bad of a person compared to... Is Umber still there?
Are you asking me? No, Umber is gone. It's not there.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
are free of siblings.
You're free of everything.
We're leaving the building in the front courtyard area. Is the car still there?
The car is waiting for you.
Oh.
It will take you anywhere
least-
you wish.
Well, since we can go anywhere, guys, I'm hungry. Want to go get something to eat? We just got paid.
I feel bad because I've eaten 3 pig burritos and I forgot to get you one. I got everyone else one except you. I'm sorry, Oren.
They took you to this. Oh, I'm glad they fed you and there was nothing more. You did not meet one of my other siblings besides Umber, right? No. No
No,
siblings.
Just her.
Okay,
She's
she's at
lovely.
least... She is fairly decent among my siblings. She is very good at running the company, but she's still... I wasn't raised with the family to begin with, so I have a little outside look.
So what's the plan?
Getting in the car and see if we can go through a drive-through and grab a burger.
Yeah, then after that, we should hit the pit. It's a great Fado band playing tonight. Anyone up for that? Because I've got to message Richard because it's after a job. There's a guy. You could imagine. Would anyone like to come to the pit?
Sure, I've never seen this, as you can imagine after meeting my family. Could be a good opportunity to see what The word I'm looking, the other side behaves?
How the other half lives.
Yes.
Oh, it's great.
The
There's
half
like
without the silver spoon.
There's like thousands of people in this dark room with lights, and the music's so loud that you can't hear anything. Sometimes ears start bleeding, and it's just the best. It's everything I'm sure you love, Oren.
Crowds, loud noise. Orange just going.
Or his death
Well,
suit
you-
just covers his face.
Rel, you in?
Yes. I'm in.
Gorell seems a little distracted. He's been looking out the windows, and it just seems like he's looking outside. But he has not listened to the entire thing. Pretty much the only words he grabbed were "dark room," which sounds great after being in like the 10th circle of hell known as Apple. So he says, "Yes, let's go."
Terrific. Driver, take us to the pit. So Kara grabs her communication device and starts messaging Richard saying, "Meet us at the pit." Also,
I'm just.
bring Wellington boots, a hammer, and cheese.
You all
wanna
get
know.
no. You all get your food. You get to the pit. The queue is going for fairly long outside. This is the pit doesn't close. Music's round the clock. The people are on BPNs all the time. They're coming off. They're going in. You see drunk people getting thrown out, sober people going in, and without barely a blink of an eye, coming out drunk again. Stand in the queue for maybe half an hour or so, moving slowly forward. Even seen a couple of people get knocked back for coming in. A group of ADVs, advanced carrions, a whole group of them get turned away. You can hear some people laughing at them and saying something. And Grail, you notice there's 5 ADV and they're all wearing similar uniform. They seem to be a squad that is entirely advanced carrying. And as a group, they look, so it's like as a kind of a swarm or as a pack or something, they look at the ones laughing, and you notice this kind of clicking that they make, showing, exactly what they think about it. And the squad leader, well, you presume it's the squad leader, puts his hands out and does something with his shoulders, and as one, they just turn and walk away.
Is the clicking in the body language part of Gristle that I would
Yes.
recognize it, or was that some internal stuff?
No, it was something you would. It's something you would likely recognise. It's
Leave it alone, boys. It's not worth it tonight.
basically,
Okay.
yeah. But rather than the words, it's much more of a feeling of it. So like a feeling of maybe this prey isn't worth it. It's more like it. There's nothing to be won by taking this. You notice other advanced carrions in the crowd. One of them has these massive kind of noise cancelling headphones on. As he goes in, and his squad's all human. They're all laughing and joking with him, and Nigel looks really part of the group, and they all head in. And for a moment, you see them hesitate a little bit. One of the humans' hands comes out, pats him in the back, and then they go.
Yeah, Grail has a lot of empathy for that hesitation.
As you get to the door, it's 2 stormers are on door duty. They look the 3 of you over. Been here before?
I have many times.
The one stormer looks at the other. The Second one goes back, comes out in a second, and has a pair of the exact same headphones that it hands to Grail. Give these when you come back. You break them, you pay.
Yes. Thank you.
It gives you a little ticket.
And it is clear that he actually put effort into inflection to make sure they understood how thankful he was.
Stormer grunts. Gives you all a stamp on the hand.
Out of curiosity, are there any other Ebons or
Plenty.
Ebans?
Plenty of them.
Can I ask if they're in death suits or are they normal Ebans?
All in death suits.
Okay.
It's almost entirely operatives.
Oh yeah, we are not on static, so yeah, that makes sense.
So, when you go in, the pit is made up of several kind of mini clubs, all different sorts of music. And Cara would take you to the one, I take it, that is what we would call metal. So why don't each of you describe how it feels going into that? This wall of noise and aggression and joy all mixed in. Lyrics that you can barely hear, but somehow, at least, you know, for Cara, you can understand. You get the feeling of it. The drums and the bass and the rhythm is all going right through you, and it's all something that feels kind of like home. But for Grail and for Orin, I think they would take it very, very differently. So Grail, how do you experience this, even with these noise cancelling headphones on? It's still a roar. You can hear every single beat, every single strum of the string.
At this point, it's honestly probably more of like a body feeling than an ear feeling.
Mhm.
I mean, I imagine that a lot of it is just like the percussive, heavy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You can
in his
feel that
body.
it's going right through all the bone. You know.
At that point, he actually finds it pleasant, kind of like a subsonic weighted blanket almost. So he just kind of gives a slow nod, mostly in time with the music, and that kind of like, okay, I am choosing to try to enjoy this.
Orin, how does it feel for you?
Very much similar with the body vibration and just overall, it's just like a numbing effect almost to sensations. The only problem Orin has is he's little and keeps getting banged into.
Even the bigger
So he's
people have that problem here.
He's almost clinging to Grail's side just because he's bigger and people seem to give a little radius around them. And Kira, just because they're closer, but he's enjoying the music part and he's fascinated at the crowd, just the mixture and how they're working. He's never been in something, the chaos. He's just jaw-dropping, staring around, but overall excited at something new. It's just more scared about getting stepped on.
At one point, you do get knocked to the floor, but you almost immediately, there's 3 or 4 people just picking you back up and patting you on the back, and you know, everything seems all very, very violent, very, very aggressive, very hard. But as soon as something like that happens, you notice instantly the way they're treating the people around them changes. No one here is getting hurt that doesn't actually intend to get hurt. There's something very familial about this area anyway. You couldn't speak to all the rest. How's Cara doing here?
Oh, well, I think you can imagine what Kara's doing.
Yeah.
She has dived into a mosh pit almost like Scrooge McDuck dives into his money. And
I don't know want to know what Kara's then spitting out into the air, because that's just.
yeah, it's not clean. This is not COVID-19 safe, what she is doing. But she does remove herself for a second to tell Oren, all right, so here's the deal. Because it sounds like you've had a stressful day. The point of this place is to let it all out. So here's what you do. Scream and jump in. If you want. I don't want to force you to do something you don't want to do, but I would pay a lot of money to see what Oren has going on.
Now that sounds like
first,
flirting.
Oren is definitely looking for a place to drink. He's heard so much about this stuff.
There's many, many bars.
He's doing a lot of people watching right now to learn. He's by observing. And Kara comes up and tells him this. He's probably a couple drinks in by the time she gets out of the mosh, or at least one in, and rarely drinks. Sure, I'll try. And pops in the air above him
What?
and falls. In the mosh pit.
You do that cheer goes up, and a new band is out on stage, and it's made entirely of E-bands, and you can see none of them are holding any instruments. There's a lull. You drop into the crowd, everyone's cheered, there's a lull, and then there's no sound, but all of you feel it. How in front of the singer starts to scream, but no sound into it, and you feel the reality kind of push past your skin and your suit, and it's so energizing. It's like, you go to a concert, and it's like that, but there's no sound to it, and just everyone kind of jumps up, and then the sound comes, and it's E-band's playing with instruments that aren't there. There's percussion going because there's an E-band throwing his hands out, doing blast every 2 seconds like that. There's a light show going off. Again from blast, you can feel the room. Not full, but you feel the as if the walls are compressing and moving in and out, and it's moving everyone's bodies like that. There's a strum of some kind of stringed instrument that can't see, but you can feel being plucked in your mind. For a second, it would be just about overwhelming, but it's just pure joy going through this room tonight.
I want to go to this place. This gig sounds awesome.
I think this is it.
A silent scream. I like that.
Yeah. I was going to call them Black Eagle Scream, but no, I think Silent Eagle Scream. That's the band now.
Oh yeah, these new wave of silent fado bands. They're pretty good. I mean, at first it was a bit gimmicky, no instruments, but now, yeah, it's really coming to its own as a genre, I feel.
Everyone seems to be really enjoying it. There's Grail. You might not have expected it, but there's quite a few advanced carry in here. Like, not lots, but enough that you can make them out. They're mostly not in with the whole crowd and moshing, but you do see one or two that seem to be really enjoying themselves like that. There's a lot of watching going on. Most of them have their headphones on. Some of them are speaking to one another. Others are speaking to other members of the squad. But this is probably the first time ever, because in many everything was so regimented, that you've seen so many of your people just walking freely around and not being explicitly ordered to do something.
Yeah, he's got a lot of mixed feelings about that. I think at this point he's probably just going to stay one of like the wall gargoyles You know, if another ADV comes within what could be considered like normal socialization space, he might, you know, give some kind of a light, like, you know, hi, I'm here, kind of one of those non-committal,
Yeah.
I am here and I see you, please see me, noises and gristle. But honestly, when what was the gal's name that that shut down the fight brewing in the
Umber.
cafeteria? Umber. Umber said he wasn't a real carrion, and that's weighing very heavily on his mind right now. So he's kind of in that, like, you know, are we real like, am I a real carrion, like, or you know? So it's like he's enjoying the music, but he's using it to be very contemplative. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm describing
No,
it
you
well,
are.
but he's like, he's at the club with a lot on his mind. So he's kind of like people watching and essentially using it almost like one of those rolling rock
Yeah.
gardens, just, you know, louder and brighter.
Cara, what about you? Richard's texted to say he's not going to be able to make it just now, but he's free tomorrow night.
Okay, she replies, cool. By the way, the other stuff's optional, but the hammer. Do not forget the hammer tomorrow night.
You get back a text that's just full of hammer emojis.
So she decides to
There's another text though.
Oh. Really?
This one is from Galen McGinty, who's your manager years and years and years ago.
I won't have heard from
Not in a long
this
time.
guy for... Okay. I read the text.
Hi, Cara. Long time no see. I really need a favour. Maybe you could do something for your old manager. I'll be at the pit every night. And it gives a time which isn't too far from now. My usual booth. I'd really appreciate it if you can come give me a hand.
Okay. I think I don't want to cut like people off from joining me on whatever this is, but also I get the feeling that Kara probably wouldn't want to well, she definitely wouldn't want to kill Oren's Buzz at this point. Because I get the feeling that Oren's about to have a very, very transformational evening, shall we say.
Oren hasn't stopped crowd surfing now since that band came on. He's still just bouncing up into the air and landing and bouncing.
Okay, so Oren is occupied. Grell,
He's
looks
screaming
like...
and yelling and...
I fucking love my life!
I love it.
Yeah.
Grell looks like he's got a lot on his mind, so she's just going to go and meet the old manager.
He's also a frother, but much older than you. He's got no longer has dreadlocks, which you remember from last time we met him. His head is completely shaved. He's looking gaunt. He's got an old leather jacket on with patches from all different bands, including Super Goatee. He looks very nervous. He's looking around and he's got a drink in front of him. His feet are tapping up and down, and he spots you. And you just see a smile. Cara, over here.
Hey, did you know I was here?
No, I didn't know. I just heard that you just got out of many.
Okay, cool. Well, nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you. How have you been? I know things didn't end all that well with SG, but you know, I always had a fun. So you're the best drummer they ever had. You know that, don't you?
Well, thank you. Part of me wishes you said that at the time, but you know.
Yeah, well, you know how it
I-
is. Things get in the way. Look, Kara, it's really good to see you, but I need your help.
Okay.
I got myself into a little bit of trouble.
What's up?
I can't tell you here. Yeah, I just needed to know if you'd be willing to help me.
Well, you know,
I'm in
not
big trouble.
busy now.
I'm in big trouble. If you don't help, I don't know who to turn to. There's no one else. I've not been touched in the bands in years.
Well, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how screwed are you?
11. And you see along his neck, there's a kind of DNA tattoo being put in there. And you don't know exactly what it means. A DNA tattoo, the ones that they get passed on to children. But
Okay.
you know that this one comes from him being in some kind of prison. You've seen them
So
before, you
he's
don't know
had
the
a
exact.
bunch of rough. He's clearly had a bunch of rough years.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. If you're that screwed, I'll help. How? But you got to be able to tell me what's going on.
He looks around. The pit's probably not the best place for it, but I kind of. Someone from Dark Knight got in contact with me, and I think I did something stupid.
Okay.
Look, he writes down. It's my address. I don't want to text it to you. Keep it to you. I'm kind of in hiding.
All right. I'll stop by there tonight.
You're the best, Kara. Seriously, no one could do a drum solo like you.
Well, she thinks to herself, wow, things must be really bad if I'm the only person who can help. Like someone that feels like kind of screwed her over a couple of decades ago, a bit. And I'm who he's coming to? That's okay. Something, yeah, he's desperate, fair enough.
He downs the drink that's in front of him. Like, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks, Kara, and he pats you on your armoured shoulder. The operative life suits you.
Oh,
He heads off, rubbing his
not
nose.
sure about that. But yeah, I'll see you later at your place, okay?
Now, sorry for interjecting, but Mark, what does Kara know about Dark Knight?
Kara, you
Like,
would.
before she commits to something without at least a little bit of context.
I thought we talked about Dark Knight before. Dark Knight is one of the main opposition companies, one of the main competitors. With them and Thresher. Thresher are basically the big loud bastards. Dark Knight are the IRA. They are basically terrorists in company form. They carry out bombings. They do more guerrilla warfare sort of stuff.
Are they what? I don't imagine this is the case. Like, this isn't going to be a yes, but I'm going to ask: is there any reason why Kara would have any respect for Dark Knight?
No, that's
So they are just scoundrels.
They are
and
just
terrible people.
Yeah. There'll probably be one or two that are alright who are doing it because they think, get back at Slay, but there's many other groups that do that from a more ideological point of view. Whereas Dark Knight they want their rival company. They want to be Slay rather than, to stop Slay.
Dude, what have you got yourself into?
The music keeps going, pounding away. The silent eagle scream stop after 6-7 songs. Another band comes on. Slightly different tempo to it. A full mix with a stormer on the drums, and throughout the set it goes through 6 different drum kits. They successively get wrecked, but still everyone cares. Everyone just cheers it along, and it's, they love it. Oren, you can get away with whatever you want here. You can surf through the crowd. You can enjoy the people's.
Eventually, he wants to head back towards getting drinks, and he's going to, I'm assuming this is a drug-heavy environment.
Yes.
Well, Kira always does rush. Maybe that'll be something I should try. And he's looking around. He's half drunk. He's been drinking.
There's a dispenser right there you can get it from.
He puts in his card.
See, self-medicating is a viable option.
Yep. It's company approved.
Is our transatlantic cinnamon bun, like, does he look extremely drunk or just at a good club drunk?
He would be at a good club drunk, but it's like he's never been to this level of drunk. So it's like all new and happy to him. He hasn't had he isn't 2 hours in and coming down with the hangover effect yet if you've got the headache and the sick. So he doesn't get to do this. He's slumming now.
So it reminds me of something that happened at uni. For 2 years, there was a guy who never drank anything. Then one night, he got drunk with everyone. And then he was never heard from again.
Hope he's alright.
We have no... His name was Jonathan in Aberystwyth in 2006. Nobody knows what happened to him. He's just like...
We all know what happened to him. He made a movie called Train Spotting.
No, that's wrong. That's Wales. Wales is not Edinburgh, sir. No. No.
Aberystwyth is its own thing.
Yes, Aberystwyth is its own thing. Aberystwyth.
Yeah, it's kind of student town mixed with old druidy history and beach hippies and crystals.
Welsh.
It's a great place. I love it. I love its death. But yeah, like Oren is very much like Jonathan.
I found our next vacation.
Oh yeah, it's terrific. It's got the weird thing of being like on one side of the beach, you buy like a bucket and spade and an ice cream, and you do the proper British seafront thing. Then like 10 feet away, it's just like a strip club and a 24-hour nightclub and just people doing MDMA. It's the weirdest town. It's so great.
Now, I'm just looking at Oren in the last 24 to not even 12 hours, nearly killed, psychological, had to go do. So right now he's just, his stress level is just like, poof.
Yeah, completely through the ringer.
He's just, once he started, he couldn't stop. That's probably his biggest thing. Once he started.
For him, Warren can stay here till he drops. I'm sure someone would take care of him.
He's going to stay near Grail because, he figures Grail's big and might protect him and try to get him to get stepped on or eat him, one or the other.
Grail, it does happen a couple of times that some carrion come near to you. And signals are made that, yeah, this is our place. We share this place. And then no one is coming to you without an invitation. It seems like they know people who are new and don't want to bother them. Yeah. You get little gestures of you're welcome here. But no one's coming over and invading your space. No carrying enemy.
Yeah, he's content with that. Like, being seen is the first step. Like, you got to let each other know that you're there, and then we all have to decide what we feel about that, and then we have to make initial contact and decide what we feel about that.
Yeah.
And then we have to figure out who's in charge. Like, we're at the very outside layer of the onion. So I just checked. Grail has 0 medical skill. Like, his medicine skill is 0, which means that I imagine, like, I'm not at all going to assume that he knows at all what too drunk looks like.
Yeah.
You know, he's just like, he understands that there is a wide range of pleasantly intoxicated that ranges all the way up to almost dead. And so he generally figures that if Orin is in motion,
He's still alive.
and nothing's coming out of holes that things normally go in, that overall this is a positive experience.
I think it's not an experience that Oren will perceive of as negative until the next day. That's when it'll seem negative.
There's a point in the night he will not remember after.
But at some point, the death suit will kick in and start cleaning out toxins. Yeah, so the Ebon hangover probably won't be nearly as bad as it would be for a human or a frother. Yeah, but still.
Howard just approaches with like 4 more drinks and just screams, "Go about diplomacy! Woo!"
You all wake up the next morning with tattoos. So is there anything else you all want to do here?
No, not here. Not until he's unconscious. He's assuming he's going to get left. You know.
At some point, you know, at whatever point that Tim decides that this isn't fun, like, non-sarcastically, non-snarky, like, whenever Tim's done having fun, I presume that he's going to pass out or show some other sign of distress, and then Grail's going to do the cartoon front of the train thing with the cow catcher and just kind of like move people out of the way and pick up Orin and remove him from the premises.
Mm-hmm. Probably covered in a little bit of, you know, his own puke and everything, because, you know, he's been known to do that.
Dude, you picked the wrong designated driver to worry about barf.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying he drank to the point of, and he's never really drank before, so it didn't stay down as well as he would probably like, or last as long as he probably hoped he would. So it probably wasn't that late of a
late enough.
Yeah.
Love the idea that Oren lasted about 37
Yeah.
minutes.
That's it. It just seems like the whole night. Ah, God.
Like, I thought he had,
was forever for him.
20 minutes. Oh, double fuck.
Well, at some point, if you were to check your forum, you would see there's some interested chatter going on about a series of kitsch that have started to show up. So in markets and things that shouldn't be about, but not one mention of your Halloween Jack. Is it shampoo or soap?
So
there's
I
other
want to make
things.
sure that I heard you right. You're saying that there were that people are suddenly now finding various
Yes.
like prototypes and samples and stuff like that. Okay.
People are getting quite excited about it. It's not lots of them, but enough that it's making its way into the forum, and people are pointing out markets where these have been found, and these seems to be kind of pop-up markets.
Okay. Well, he opened his phone to send a text message to Kara. He wanted to say, Orin is intoxicated, and I need advice on how to keep this from being lethal, because Grail's Grail. But whenever all of the notifications start rolling up from the little forum app across the top of his phone, all Kara gets is Orin is in. And then he sent and went to the forum.
Uh,
Is one of these pop-ups nearby?
Not at the moment. there seems to be they're quite secretive. There's a sub forum popped up from it, but you're able to get in because you've got the requisite levels. You know, you've got the seniority within the forum. You can get into the newer things. Not quite a mod, but or maybe you read a mod. Can't remember.
Yeah, he was a mod.
He's a mod, yeah. No one knows who's doing these things, but since it's all stuff that is very much directed towards your community, someone thinks it must be someone in here. There have been 3 of these pop-ups so far, but people didn't really notice it until the collectors had done their research and then brought them in. One had said, I'd found this, and then the next one, okay, well I found this, and I checked it out, and everyone seems to be doing a bit of what Grail would do, making sure the provenance of these things. And it looks like the next pop-up will be in 2 days.
Is its location somewhere that Grail could reasonably expect to get to?
Yes, it's expected to be on the 2nd district. Downtown.
Okay. And that's just some public transit and some walking?
Yeah. I think Grail actually lives in the downtown district too.
Sure. I don't remember us making it a distinct point, so it can be wherever you want it.
I think we talked about it. I don't know. I can go back and check though. But yeah, District 2 sounds good.
He's from Cannibal Sector 2.
Yes. So we like to keep the 2.
Yeah. So he marks it and like not flags the post as in moderator flag, but like saves it, pins it, does all of that stuff.
See quite a lot of people jumping in with how these things must be fake and that's got to be maybe it's someone in Slay trying to screw up the thing. So there's a lot of anti-Slay commentary and then other people shouting them down. It seems to be getting quite heated at parts in there.
Oh, there's nobody's more insane than like replica historical people.
Yeah, the arguments going on about it and wanting proof.
They're the maddest.
Yeah.
I just very quickly sent a text message
in
all caps saying, "Yeah, he is."
Do you need a hammer?
No, the hammer is just for me and Richard.
Yeah.
Is just for
Richard. Grail stares at his phone in moderate to severe horror. Because he realizes what he did, like in a moment of hyperfixation, and he's now like caught on the completely unnecessary high level of angst between do I admit that what I did, or do I simply allow this conversation that he doesn't understand what it means yet to go uncorrected and deal with whatever those consequences are later. He decides to deal with it later because later is not now.
That's a future Grail problem.
That's a future Grail problem. We're just going to put that in the same box as the trauma.
I did not want to like upset Grail. I just thought that was funny.
I think it's funny too. Like Ben is thrilled to pieces by this. Like this is funny to me.
Okay, that's good. I didn't want to like start a existential crisis.
No.
Grail just exists in an existential crisis. Like, but at this point, Kara seems to be doing something. So is Orin awake? Like, is he carrying like a 50-pound bag of flour over his shoulder, or are they doing like
Aaron? Yeah, he's more of the very stumbly.
Grail, you're my best friend, mate. I'm so pissed. I fucking love you, Grail. You're fucking.
Yep, that type. And the one thing I keep forgetting to mention because I'm reading my abilities again, the moment he's touching you or you're touching him, you're colder, you're chilled, you're comfort. If it's warm out and hot, you're gonna feel very comfortable. Yeah, true. Getting that descriptive. Anytime he's close to somebody, it's very kind of chilly around him.
I think for Grail though that would fit that coolness.
It's perfectly content. Like his comfort range is, really, really wide.
Something else we forgot though, every time Grail you're carrying him and he knocks into a Wraithen or a Neophron, The sneezes are immense. It's like the whole body, the body buckles, and it's as if someone's actually. It seems to have got much worse with the alcohol.
Tim has spent the last 2 weeks on heavy bad allergy issues.
That's what reminded me of it.
The fact that you see me coughing is still due to the allergies, but I'm under heavy drugs.
See, that's called what do you call it? Method acting. There we go.
Well, Grail is going to reach into the greatest source of medical knowledge in the world of progress, which is what the people at Many said they were going to do once they graduated. So going back into his mind, this next reference for him is that they're supposed to find a profound amount of extremely greasy, possibly toxic food. And,
There's a chippy nearby.
Like, yeah, it's whatever the full thing is with like 15 different things on top, covered in like that garlic white sauce.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Like, he goes and he finds that.
Yeah, you all manage to make it out, and it's as if nothing's changed on the outside. You hand in the headphones. The queue looks no different than it did when you come in. It seems like there's still groups of people getting turned away and others laughing at them. And you've been in for quite a while. You'd come in the evening, and now the sun is actually up already.
Goodness.
Seemed to have, it didn't seem that long, but again, time seems to have warped on you. So there, if you're having fun or if you're not having fun, or in the sunlight reminds you of your mother. And then your drunken state. Modelling perhaps now.
I miss my mommy, and she was the best. She raised me all until then Dad come.
It's okay, Owen. It's okay.
You're my best friend in the whole world.
Grail gets masses of greasy food.
Oh, that smells good. When
Oh,
he's
yeah,
sober,
he bought like 2 amounts of food for Grail's caloric load too. Like, he didn't buy a Grail size and an Orange size.
No.
He got like the Grande and then the Grande again.
And Kara's too high, going, no, I couldn't eat. Just gunning away. And with the sun coming up, the rain still falling, food has been gotten, fun has been had.
And Kara just remembers, oh shit, I gotta go somewhere.
After you eat, come on, you must eat.
No, I gotta
that-
go. I gotta go. I gotta do a thing. Listen, legendary, great night. Thanks for coming here. This is so cool, Lauren. We're doing this again.
Yeah, definitely. Where are you going? You got another party? Let's do it! Woohoo!
Oh, this isn't going to be a fun pie. This is something I got to deal with. I'll fill you in later, okay? You just take your medicine. Take your gooey, fatty medicine. That's your job now. Grail, you got this? I'm sorry to inspire a drunk and then leave, but
he does a fairly well mimicked shrug. Like, he does a shrug that works pretty good. And so, they're kind of like, don't worry about it.
Grail, you're the best. See you guys later.
About 5 minutes. About 5 minutes into the meal later, Oren his face falls into the food. He's been exhausted. He's been going for 2 days now, almost no sleep. And he's not very endurance orientated anyway. So that's where he is, passed out on the table at the restaurant.
And I think given that this has been an experience for everyone, you can all take 2 XP for this. as I think this was a bit of growth. So the rain's falling. Orin is going in and out of consciousness. Grail's mind's lately filled with trinkets of all kinds. And Kara's off to help a friend that she's not seen in a long time. The world of progress just carries on. Fights break out in front of the pit. The bouncers kick the shit out of some people and let others through. And gunshots in the distance let you know that there's people still fighting. And we will leave it there for this evening.
Can I add one
Oh, of
small
course.
thing?
Apologies, yes.
Grail is wearing like his SLA Industries like body glove underneath his armor, and he's taken off some of the larger plates, but the stuff that was more work to take off, it's still on from the whole clusterfuck. And he's eating the branded food from the branded street cart, and he's looking out into this, kind of like looking into the sun as he rises, and he just very quietly but with a lot of emotion just says, "I am a real carrion."
Excellent. Thank you
No
very
further
much.
questions, Your Honor.
Yep.
Thank you very, very much. That was very cool. I liked seeing how you all interacted with these situations that were very much out of place for you. Times even the things that were in place for you were kind of out of place. Yeah, so if you're watching somewhere else, I am Mark, Cthulhu Kid, your GM. I had a great time helping tell this little story tonight. We will say goodbye in a circle, starting with Ben.
I am still Ben. In 1 week and 3 hours, I will be running the Place of Wrath and Tears, a called actual play on this same channel. I hope that you will watch it. I think it's going to be a fucking ride. And if you're not caught up, you've got a week. There's your homework. There you go.
Is Bethany back?
Yes, she should be.
Ooh, excellent. Because I want to see
Yeah.
her reactions to some of the stuff that went down.
Yeah, we've got 2 games that we got to tell Bethany all about it. And it's going to be a whole thing. Trademark.
Do yourself a favor and watch, because the storytelling and the entire cast is incredible.
Yes.
No, thank you.
And Michelle, how was your evening?
It was good, although I'm a little bit worried that Kara may have inspired a potential future trip to rehab for Oren.
This is SLA Industries.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they don't really do rehab, do
Well, no,
they?
they do. It just takes a long time. 3 weeks of passing rolls. It's
Oh,
difficult.
that's not so bad.
Let
I
the
feel less
beatings
bad
begin. Let the beatings begin.
Yeah,
Exactly.
basically. Yeah, just take more drugs, they'll be fine.
Yeah, I've been Michelle. It's fine stuff I do.
Still Michelle, yes.
Yes,
She has been, and she will continue to be Michelle.
I will be forever until I'm not. One day I won't be here. But yeah, what the trans is what I do. You can find that online and on Patreon. I mentioned it this time.
I was going to say,
So yeah,
well done.
you can find stuff I do there, or I'm here enabling people.
This is true. Should definitely follow her on Twitter. Very, very interesting stuff. And on Patreon, help her out. Well, help her out. Support her. For some excellent journalism, especially in trans issues. And Tim, how are you? I think you're muted, my friend.
I am muted, so that was probably the best part of the show.
Yeah.
So,
Same with me always.
hi, I'm Tim. I hang out on the Discord and for TTRP Theater, and you'll see me modding and hanging out in various locations throughout it. Other than that, you might find me on various socials under the same @ symbol, and I don't do much anywhere else, though. So,
Yeah, we're getting him to do more. Yeah, so this TTRP Theatre, we've got lots going on now during the week. On Monday at 12 p.m. CST, that's Central Time, I think, you can join Curtis, our director, for Offstage. Wednesday, October the 6th at 8 p.m. Central Time, we've got Star Trek Sagittarius. Thursday, October 7th, at 8 p.m. Central Time, we've got a series premiere, Mysteries of Zorus. That is Zorus Academy. What game is that again? It's I've forgotten what game.
Brooms, whatever the brooms are.
Yeah,
brooms.
Brooms and yeah, I'll have a look and tell you later. Friday the 8th of October, Vampire Interprets the Apocalyptic Record. That'll be also an interview. 6 p.m. Central Time. On Friday as well, we also have Alien, Chariot of the Gods, 8 p.m. Central Time. Saturday, October 9th, Vampire Interprets True RPG, 11 a.m. Central Time. And on Sunday, as mentioned before, 10th of October, A Place of Wrath and Tears returns at 7 p.m. Central Time. I have just went through an entire list. I don't think I made any mistakes, so I'm very proud of myself. Good night. Thank you for watching, and have fun. Yeah, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Goodbye. When I find it.